Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. After taking 19 days off to recover and heal from injury, Caitlin Clark returned against the New York Liberty with a phenomenal, epic, legendary performance. Something that the WNBA has never seen and something that sports fans only see once every 5, 6, 7 years. Some shit that when you're watching it, you're like, damn. This person is having an outer body experience. This player has reached a new level. And I know I am witnessing absolute greatness in front of me. It just so happens with Caitlin Clark, those moments happen a little bit more frequent than others. We see Caitlin Clark performances in Iowa. We saw her historic rookie season and then coming back against the New York Liberty saying, no, I don't want to wait for Connecticut. Give me the best team in the league. Give me the second best team in the league on national TV, and let me put on a show for the people. And Caitlin Clark came and put on a show, 32 points, the Indiana Fever, taking down the undefeated New York Liberty. And you know that media had to talk about it. You know that sports media had to talk about it after being ignored. After nobody brings up the WNBA while Caitlin Clark's out, she's back, and so is the media talking about the WNBA. Some things that the old guard just don't want to admit, but it is what it is. You guys noticed, right? When Caitlin Clark was out with injury, were they talking about WNBA on First Take? No. Were they talking about the WNBA on NBA Countdown? No. Were they talking about the WNBA on NBA Today? No. Were they talking about the WNBA on Fox Sports? No. Were they talking about the WNBA on First Things First? No. Were they talking about the WNBA on the Colin Coward show? No. But now, she's back, and of course, they are back talking about Caitlin Clark. Let's start off here. Rebecca Lobo, one of the few who have been brutally honest with this whole Caitlin Clark situation, one of the few who called it back when she was a junior, saying, yeah, that player's legit. When that player gets into the WNBA, she's going to continue to be legit. One of the few who last year didn't drink the narrative that was sent to her in email. She's always been a Caitlin Clark supporter. Rebecca Lobo, salute to you. Let's hear what you got to say.
It means a lot more people are paying attention once again. We know how much Caitlin drives ratings. We know how much Caitlin drives attention on the WNBA. And for her to come back and do it in that way was just ridiculous. I mean, I'm sitting there at the end of the first quarter when she had that 38-second stretch where she drained deep three after deep three after deep three. I was just sitting there thinking, I've been around this league since 1997. I have never seen that in a WNBA game. Have we seen players go on runs? Of course we have, but not like that. Not where a couple of the three-pointers are from 30-plus feet. It was an exhibition by her. After being out for 19 days to recover from an injury, couple that with the other passes that she made and some of the other plays, it was just ridiculous. It's not often that you're watching the WNBA or that I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, I've just never seen this before.
Well, for many of us, it is quite often, especially when we're watching Caitlin Clark. I've never seen this before. Damn, I've never seen that before. And for Rebecca Lobo, someone who's been around the league for her entire adult life, from college, playing ball, covering the league, Rebecca Lobo, for her to come out and say, I've never seen something like this before. All the greats, the Swoops, the Coopers, the Catchings, the Maya Moore's, the Diana Taurasi's, all the greats that came before her, for Rebecca Lobo to say, yeah, they've gone on streaks, they've gone on runs, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody, I'm like, is that person human? is that person a human being? Because she's playing like she's from outer space. Caitlin Clark, what she did on Saturday, folks, I don't know how to continue to say this. You guys have heard. It was why we all fell in love with her. It was literally why we all fell in love with her. Exciting brand of basketball, style of play we watch, and we think we can't replicate that. That's something that doesn't get talked about that much. When I'm watching sports and I think, maybe I can replicate that, or casuals are watching and think, maybe I can replicate that. Folks, when you're watching somebody perform at such a high level, that you humble yourself and you're like, there's nothing I can do. I can practice for days and hours on end, years on end. I can spend X amount of time in the gym, but like that's one in a million. Caitlin Clark is one in a million, and I hope this league understands that. I hope this league gets it through their thick skull that CC is the WNBA. Why is she so popular? Crowd in shambles. Yeah, they're calling Tyrese Halliburton the Haliban, and they're calling Caitlin Clark Al Qaeda. It's actually pretty clever. I salute to all of you. Molly's always looking like a hater. It is what it is. But Rebecca Lobo doesn't stop there. Rebecca Lobo doesn't stop there when speaking about how great of a shooter Caitlin Clark is.
Stephen, it's funny because I was listening to your last segment where you were talking about Steph Curry and you said he's the greatest shooter God ever created. On Saturday, Caitlin Clark certainly looked like that for the WNBA in terms of what she was able to do. As a player, she finished last year 4th in MVP voting. This is a player this year is second favorite right now in MVP, right behind Nafisa Collier. Last year she was the best guard in the league. So,
Say it again. Say it again.
Last year, she was the best guard in the league.
Say it one more time, please.
Right behind Nafisa Collier. Last year, she was the best guard in the league. So, in terms of the context of the history of the league, time will tell. But in terms of the impact she has had both on and off the court and one season plus, it's certainly right up there. We were talking with our crew after the game. We got at least 10 more years of watching Caitlin in her absolute prime. And it's so exciting. It's so fun to watch her. She's certainly the most exciting player, certainly the most fun player to watch in the league right now. And we're just going to see kind of her legacy continue to grow as she has more performances like we saw on Saturday. And again, time will show how long is it going to take her to get that Indiana Fever team to a WNBA championship.
It's not going to take long. As soon as whoever's the coach of this team has a eureka moment and say, oh, yeah, this is what I want to. As soon as that happens, that's as soon as they win a championship, right? Whether that coach is Stephanie White or somebody else. As soon as the head coach says, oh, this is all I got to do. Spam pick and roll with AB, rain threes, get in transition, push the ball after a make, push the ball after a miss. Oh, as soon as that clicks, that's how soon it's going to take, Rebecca. That's as soon as it's going to take. Folks, we shot 35 threes against the Liberty. 3 straight games, we've shot the most amount of threes in each game. We shot 27, 28, and now most recently 35 threes. When we exclude that abysmal Atlanta Dream performance. Rebecca Lobo wasn't the only one, though, folks. Rebecca Lobo wasn't the only one saying CC's good graces. Colin Coward, he's been critical of the WNBA and their treatment of Caitlin Clark for quite some time. This is Colin Coward reacting to this.
The WNBA three-point arc is 22 feet. It felt like you were watching history, and I'm not overstating it. Kobe's 81-point game, Michael Jordan switching hands, Reggie Jackson with 3 home runs on 3 pitches in the 1977 World Series against the Dodgers. It felt like I was watching history.
Folks, that's as good as you could put it. That was historic. We watched history right there.
Yeah, I know LeBron's block was the NBA Finals, but it's interesting that you don't realize how much you miss people until they're gone. So Caitlin Clark had played high school every week and college every game and the WNBA every game, and then she misses 5 games. And the ratings plummet, 55%, league-wide. Like it's like Saturday Night Live when they don't have a big star on. Maybe I'll catch a clip, not the show. She comes back. Caitlin Clark Kent, the woman of steel. She was calling for the ball. And right now, I'm sitting there watching it, and I felt like, look at these shots. What in the world am I watching?
Exactly. What in the world is going on? Pull up. You're out of here. Oh, pull up from 3. Oh, goddamn. Pull up from 3. Oh, this person is a fucking psycho. She's crazy. She's crazy. And she's got the talent to back it up. She's got the talent, the work ethic to back it all up. That's what makes this even more great. She's never satisfied. She'll hit those 3 threes in a row and be like, damn, you know what? I did have an opportunity before that. It could have been 4 in a row. Oh, but I also had that, man, it really could have been 5 in a row. Never settle, never satisfied. Caitlin Clark is must-see TV. And when the ratings come out either later tonight or tomorrow, you guys will see a 2-point number. And then you'll see a peak with a 3-point number. Ma, Pa, Caitlin Clark's back on the tele. Oh, let me come on down. Must-see TV. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and I'm glad they're not all paid-off narrative feeders in the media. Salute to Rebecca Lobo. Salute to Colin Coward. Salute to Dan Dockage. Salute to even Skip Bayless, Pat McAfee, huge Caitlin Clark supporter. These people aren't holding their tongues anymore. Some of them didn't last year, but some of them did last year. You can only deny greatness for so long. Molly Karam, will you come around? Maybe, but who cares? You're just a host and a moderator. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I appreciate all of the support. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. The venue is back open tomorrow. Pull up, bang. We'll see you there. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.